The Galactic Council chamber buzzed with panic. Representatives from 17 intelligent species paced, fluttered, or vibrated in their designated areas. Emergency lights cast everything in a pulsing crimson glow. Order, I will have order. Ambassador Trell's voice echoed through the vaulted chamber. His blue tentacles stiffened with frustration as the din continued unabated. The collective fleet approached from the outer rim, unstoppable, insatiable. 237 worlds had already fallen to their methodical consumption of all resources, leaving nothing but barren husks in their wake. The predictive models give us 8 standard cycles before they reach the core systems, announced Science Director Mira, her delicate wings fluttering anxiously. Our combined fleets cannot stop them. The room fell silent at last. Then we are doomed, whispered Representative Dox of the Minerva Confederation, his crystalline form dimming in despair. Admiral Pike cleared his throat, the sound like grinding stones. There might be one option. All eyes, optical sensors, and sensing appendages turned toward the grizzled veteran. Wake the humans. A collective gasp rippled through the chamber. Impossible. They're too dangerous. The treaties expressly forbid. Admiral Pike's massive fist crashed down. I was there. I fought against them in the Terran War. Yes, they're dangerous, unpredictable, and incredibly efficient at violence. But they're also innovative and tenacious beyond reason. And currently in Cryo sleep by their own choice. 500 years ago, humanity had reached for the stars with remarkable speed, their technology advancing at a pace that terrified the established galactic powers. The resulting war had been brutal but brief. Humanity, realizing they weren't ready for the wider universe, had negotiated a unique peace. They would enter Cryo sleep as a species, to be awakened only in case of dire galactic emergency. Most had assumed this was merely a face-saving gesture, a way to surrender without surrendering. But the treaties remained in force, and the cryo facilities on Mars continued their silent vigil, maintained by automated systems and monitored by the Galactic Accord. We swore never to wake them, whispered Ambassador Trell. We swore to protect life, countered Admiral Pike. If the collective cannot be stopped, all life in the galaxy will be consumed. I'd rather face humans than extinction. Hours of debate followed. Historical records were consulted. Risk assessments generated. Ethical considerations weighed. In the end, there was only one logical conclusion. Captain Alex Miller awoke with a gasp, coughing as his lungs struggled to remember their purpose. His vision swam with blinking lights and unfamiliar shapes. Easy, Captain, a voice said in oddly accented English. The revival process is almost complete. Alex blinked away the blur to find himself staring at a blue-skinned alien with tentacle-like appendages where a human would have arms. Memory flooded back. The war, the treaties, the great sleep. Why was all he could manage through his parched throat. The galaxy faces extinction, the alien. Ambassador Trell, Alex would later learn, explained. We need humanity's unique perspective. Within 48 hours, 10,000 military and scientific personnel had been revived. They gathered in the great auditorium of the Mars Cryo facility as Admiral Pike and Ambassador Trell explained the dire situation. The humans listened silently, faces grim but eyes alert. When the briefing concluded, General Laura Thomas stood. She was small in stature, but her presence filled the room. You woke us because you're losing a war, she stated flatly, because you need our capacity for violence. Ambassador Trell's tentacles writhed uncomfortably. We woke you because we need your innovation, your unpredictability. Alex watched Laura's face. They'd served together before the sleep. He knew that look. She was already formulating strategies. Show us their attack patterns, she demanded. Show us everything. 2 weeks later, humanity presented their plan to the Galactic Council. It was, predictably, insane. You want to detonate synchronized fusion explosions inside multiple stars to create a gravitational wave that will disrupt their navigation systems. Ambassador Trell was aghast. While simultaneously deploying von Neumann machines to transform asteroids into autonomous defensive platforms. Yes, Alex confirmed, unfazed by the Council's shock. It's never been done. That's the point. Laura interjected. The collective adapts to known strategies. They cannot adapt to what they cannot predict. The stellar detonations alone could destabilize. We've run the simulations, Alex cut in. Dr. Reed has calculated the precise yields needed to create the disruption without causing stellar collapse. In the corner, Dr. Reed, still pale from cryo revival, nodded confidently. The plan was approved not because the council believed it would work, but because they had no alternatives. What followed would be remembered in galactic history as the human solution. It was chaotic, improvised, and terrifying to behold. Human ships, hastily retrofitted with modern technology, executed maneuvers that defied conventional tactics. They dove into gravity wells to gain momentum, skiving past stars at suicidal proximity. They detonated warheads with impossible precision, creating the gravitational disruptions exactly as predicted. When the collective adapted, the humans adapted faster. When predictions failed, the humans improvised. When resources ran low, the humans repurposed enemy technology with reckless creativity. 3 months into the campaign, the impossible happened. The collective retreated. The victory celebration was subdued in the council chamber. Relief mingled with unease as humans mingled with the species that had once feared them enough to banish them to centuries of sleep. What happens now? Ambassador Trell asked Alex quietly. Will you return to cryosleep? Alex looked around at his fellow humans. They were talking, laughing, sharing ideas with aliens who had been enemies and then reluctant allies. Already he could see the spark of innovation in these exchanges. Human ingenuity meeting alien perspectives. I think that decision needs reconsideration, he said carefully. We've all changed. Perhaps this time, we can find a way to coexist. Admiral Pike joined them, his rocky features set in what Alex had learned was a smile. The treaties will need updating, the Admiral rumbled. But I, for one, would welcome humanity as full members of the galactic community. Alex nodded, gazing out at the stars visible through the chamber's vast viewport. Humanity had been awakened for war, but perhaps they could stay for peace. Sometimes, he reflected, the most dangerous species was exactly what the galaxy needed.